What's up guys, Yannick Reed here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Yesterday I had a shoot, so none of my video or vlogging equipment is set up, so I thought that would be the perfect opportunity today to speak to you guys about my current YouTube setup for when I'm filming in my office studio. It's very similar to last year's one, but I think it would be really valuable if I actually just show you how I set it up versus it just already being set up. So let's go. So typically the first thing I would be setting up is the tripod. Very simple tripod. I will try and link everything in the description, so if you want to grab some of them stuff here, you can grab some of this stuff. So this is just my personal tripod, you know, very simple ball head, can rotate, and it's made out of aluminum, nice and sturdy. A good tripod will last you a very long time. Right now this camera itself is set up on the rinky-dink tripod that I've had for years, but as you can see, it's helping me film this video right now. Yeah, so we'll just set up the tripod here, right there. You can talk about the camera as well, which is the same camera as from last year's video, which has, you know, really been just the biggest workhorse of this channel for the past like 2 or so years, is the Sony A6300. I think this camera might be maybe like 3 years old now, or maybe 4 years old, but it's very reliable, has great video autofocus. My main gripe is that there's no screen that can flip up so I can see myself, but we're going to set it up in a way that is optimum for me seeing myself. Mounted on the camera is the Sony 28mm f2. And since this is a crop sensor camera, I also have a video describing crop and full frame, linked in the description. But yeah, since this is on a crop sensor, it's punched in a little bit more to 50. That's kind of like my main gripe. I want a wider lens so I can capture more in my frame when I'm doing these videos. But let's just get this set up. So like I said, this camera don't have a flip screen. We have a solution for that, right? So this is a monitor. You can just think of it as a small screen, you know, like a little TV, you know, and what happens is that I just mount this on top of the camera and it plugs in via HDMI and I can see myself. Let's just do it. And this is the HDMI cable. It's not a regular HDMI cable because the A6300 doesn't have a regular HDMI port. It's a mini HDMI to a regular HDMI. So you see here, so plug that in here. And one of the things I don't love about this monitor is that thing that kind of seats it here into the cold shoe. It's a little loose, it could be tighter. So there's two important elements that I want to discuss about the monitor. So the reason I like this monitor and I got this monitor is it can do a thing. This is a dummy battery and a AC input or whatever. But essentially what this does is that the monitor can power my camera. So once the monitor has power, it can power my camera. This is important because this generation of Sony's batteries is really terrible, and when you're recording a vlog, you don't really want to be thinking about changing batteries. That kind of throws off your momentum. So this dummy battery allows it to just go in the camera and stay powered for the entire time that I need it to be on. So this here just goes into the battery section. Plug it here in the output because we want the power to output from the camera. So another thing I have plugged in just in a surge protector right here is an AC input, because this monitor can be powered by AC power. It can also be powered by little batteries just like these. These are called MPF batteries, but it's great when I can just have this plugged in, because that means I'm getting endless power into the monitor. That means I'm getting endless power into the camera. So you see that the monitor is on now. So when I just switch the camera on, I have power from the camera. Well, the monitor powers the camera, and then the image comes up on the monitor. So right now you're seeing that you can kind of barely see because the room is so dark. Let me just make you can kind of see, so you can kind of see what we're looking at right now. So yeah man, I just wanted you to have an idea how this looks, just like turned on. There is no lighting yet. This is just bare bones camera. There's not even a mic plugged in. So this is just how we look when we're just starting up with just the camera on. So let's continue to work. And so the great thing about this setup is that it can just stay on. You know, I don't have to worry about it. I can see myself and the battery not going to run out because, you know, the monitor is being powered and then the monitor just powers the camera. So the next thing we need to add is the microphone, which would be the last thing to really make the camera setup complete. I have more than one mic, so sometimes I kind of just use whichever mic is the closest. This is the lesser two other mics. This is actually the Rode Video Micro, which is, Michael said this mic has recorded 90% away here on the channel. It's solid. It don't take any additional power more than just being plugged into the camera itself. It comes with a little wind muff and thing, and you just point it to you and you can get some decent audio. Very, very simple. And this is just with the mic attached now, so hopefully you can hear the difference between no mic and microphone. So yeah, you know, it's very important that you actually just get a mic and make sure so your audio is good. And this is just me straightening out the angle. Yeah. We're not done yet though. We need to set up lighting. As you can see, the lighting in here is very unflattering, very ugly, very bluish green. Just make, you know, it's not very exciting for anybody to watch. So let's sort that out now. Yes, so the light that I use is the Godox SL60W. The reason you can't see it is because, you know, I put stickers all over my stuff, so, you know, when I kind of carry it out, I can kind of know what's mine. That's just, I don't like stickers, but having your gear get mixed up with other people's gear is worse. So this is a light stand that ironically got damaged yesterday. I'm gonna see if it still stands properly, and this is the light, so I'm gonna set it up. Alright, so if you want to understand the light a little bit better, what it is, yeah, so this is the light. Pretty much comes by itself, you know, with a power cable and just a little bit of filters. This is the SL60W. This is the stand that, you know, just like a typical average light stand. And this is the part that I hate the most. This is the soft box, and typically it's usually not in this form. So let me set it up first and then explain it to you. This is what it looks like when it's finished set up. It's a pain in the ass to set up, as you can see. So normally I just leave it in this form unless I have to travel with it. But let's mount it on the light now. Alright, so now we have this big everlasting soft box here. Like, Yannick, why it have to be so big? It doesn't have to be this big, but it's better when it's this big. The bigger the light source and more diffuse it is a better quality light. I ever see that when we set it up. So alright, so you see how big it is and you see how much space it takes up when set up. The space in here kind of tight, as you can see. It's not really a huge space. The objective, so here's the seat. Seat is here and I sit down in front of the camera. Objective is to have this light up a little and point down, because that's like a 45-degree angle, and that's like the best way to kind of have like soft light instead of just direct in your face. So better to just have it kind of raised up. So that's what we're gonna try though. This is honestly my least favorite part of the whole setup, setting up the lights. Really annoying. And for those of you who use like ring lights and are not happy with that, feel free to keep it that way. I am extremely lazy, and I try to just kind of make my YouTube setup as simple as I can, just as simple as I can manage before feeling like I can't bother. Can't bother strike me very easy, and if something is too complicated, I just won't do it. So the light being here is just out of frame out of the camera. You see, so you can see it all over right here, but you can't see it in the shot, which is good. Shot is shot is actually a little tall. So let's see how this look with the light on. This how this look with the light off, right? Let's get it done. See how bright that looks over here, and on camera we have a whole heap of light here. And I think here all we really need to do is just lower the ISO, and then we kind of have something that looking like a YouTube video, right? I know you guys going blind over here, but not completely finished just yet. When I have some time, there is usually one more setup that I do. Even these curtains, I try to kind of stretch them a little, you know, seam off the background just a little bit more. Actually the light feel a little bit bright, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit and add the little secret sauce. Alright, so what is the secret sauce? 3 parts, a battery and another light. And we assemble these things together so I can get what's called a hair light. These things come together. Oh, that is embarrassing. Yeah, so when we have a charged battery, this is what we have. A nice little warm light. And I place it off here, just on my table, off to the side. Boom. You see that? How does that relate to our shot? Alright, you see when it dead now, we get a little bit of separation on this side. That's a little. So you see, yeah, you see on this side of my face, you can see a little bit of separation here. What that does is it helps to just lift me off of the background and not just fall into the background. Actually, I feel like I might even raise this light some more. And then voila. You see? Background not as bright, and I am nice and clearly lit, nice and reflective. And now I would pretty much be ready to record a YouTube video. You know, some essentials that I should note is that I have to turn off all fans, but this room is extremely hot. Like, it's really hot, like recording YouTube videos, especially at night. Oh my god, it's so hot. But these are the things that we kind of have to do. So in between, you have to make sure water nearby. You have to make sure something to just wipe your face is nearby, because sometimes I'll be looking greasy on this. And yeah, and then you just kind of do your thing and record. I will link as much of the equipment that's available down in the description. If you have any questions about my setup, or if I left anything out while you were following along, just mention it and I will answer you in the comments. Thank you guys so much for your support, and just continue to bless up yourself.